Hello, buddy. Are we on?
No, I muted us. We are streaming, but we're not on mic. I have it right on the schedule, just not on the YouTube stream. All right. We're just going out. We have nobody watching right now. Hopefully they'll join us within the next 5 minutes. There's Heidi.
All right, welcome to the game tonight. We just watched the toss.
I believe the Eastlake's receiving.
Okay.
Captains today, Mr. Beardall, big 77, Colby Johnson, 44, Miles Johnson, 20, and the fourth, I believe, was Jake Aarons, number 4. I missed it there.
And we'll now stand for the national anthem.
On what was supposed to be a very wet Saturday afternoon at Pop Keeney Field in Bothell, and Rachel Ulick from Bothell just bought me a roster. Thank you for that, Rachel. The forecast called for an inch of rain today, but at the moment it is dry and a comfortable temperature and a beautiful fall day here.
And the Bothell band is sounding great over there. Fantastic on the national anthem. Loud and proud from the Bothell side. This is their senior night. So before we started the broadcast, they were recognizing their football and cheer seniors. We're live now with the football game.
This is a high school football atmosphere. Normally everybody's used to Friday Night Lights. This stadium is shared by 4 high school teams. I believe there was a game here last night. And so here we are, an awesome Saturday afternoon game. Feels almost like a college game. But here we are with the kickoff return. It looks like Chase Dannemiller is deep in the middle. And number 1, Kate Haraldson, and 11 is Maxwell is offset.
I don't know much about Bothell's kicking game, whether it's going to go deep or whether they're going to be dribbling it to the midfield. We'll find out here in a moment. We're off. Looks like it's going deep.
Cade Haraldson's going to receive it.
Fields it at the 9, coming to the near side. Down at about the 26-yard line. Great run back.
All right, well, the Eastlake Wolves in all white today are going to take the field. This is Coach Scott Hare's second year as head coach, and this has been an interesting year for the Eastlake offense. They started out the year with a senior stud quarterback who got injured, and now under center number 12, Ryder Barry Smith, who was a converted wide receiver and has done a great job this year. In the backfield with him is Miles Johnson, split down to the near side, number 3, Hodges. Barry Smith throwing on first down. Cade Haraldson with the catch.
Not much of a gain, but we open up with a reception.
Cade Haraldson, number 1, the senior, has an outstanding year. We played here a few weeks ago against Woodinville, and Cade Haraldson had a game that night, and here he starts off today with the first catch of the day.
Looks like about a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7.
Number 56, the center, Henry Volpone at center. Left guard, pay attention to number 77, Jack Beardall, the senior, plays on both sides of the ball. Barry Smith looking to throw again.
Fires over to Haraldson again, hit immediately. Gain of about 5 yards.
That'll bring up 3rd and a few.
Looks like it'll be about 2 to 3 yards.
Colby Johnson subs in, number 44, the big running back. He's got a cast on his wrist, and it's been hit and miss if he's in the backfield, but he is right now. Oh, we've got a heavy backfield with number 2, Jake Aaron, 20, Miles Johnson, 2, Dominic Miller. Power formation, Miles Johnson with the ball, very patient, and Bothell stuffs him on that 3rd down and short. Eastlake's going to punt.
Really no gain on that one. The formation kind of screamed that it was going to be a run.
Yeah, Coach Hare's done a good job, I think, with converting what was a heavy pass offense into a really good run game this year. Miles Johnson, I don't know his statistics, but I would suspect that he's at the top of the Kingco in rushing yards.
Both teams coming into this game with a 4-3 record.
Number 28, Ed Thatcher, the fullback, is Jim's son there. Picks up the block. It's a good punt. That's one of the best punts I've seen. Fair caught by number 6, Bothell.
At the 29-yard line.
Wyatt Mickleberry, the senior, 6-foot running back and safety, and Bothell will take over on the 29-yard line here with 10 minutes to go in the first quarter.
So Bothell's defense looking good, holding Eastlake to a 3-and-out on the first possession. Let's see what Eastlake's defense can do.
The Eastlake defense has got several seniors on it. Note 4, Jake Aarons, who looks like he's playing D-end on the bottom. J.J. Maxwell, the free safety, is in the middle. Tristan Drummond, number 6, on the near side.
Run up the middle.
Run, number 22.
Good for about 7 yards. Out to the 36-yard line.
That is Cole Brook, the senior, 6-foot, 198-pound running back. And I watched a few highlights before Tay's game, and it looks like he pounds the ball, but they also like to throw screens to number 22. So keep an eye out for that today.
2nd and 3. We've got single receiver to each side. Single back in the backfield. Lines up in pistol.
Number 3, Jalen Vyers, hands off again to number 6. And the Bothell O-line is getting a push. And he's still on his feet.
Brought down after about 15 yards by number 6.
Tristan Drummond on the tackle there.
I thought I saw some early movement by the back there, but the referees didn't see that.
I saw the same thing. Yeah, he bobbled the ball a little bit on the exchange, but heck of a run there for Bothell.
They're into Eastlake territory now with the ball at the 44-yard line. Two receivers to the near side, 2 backs.
Looks like a read option pitch to number 22, the tailback, brought down in the flats by, I think, number 16, Chase Teen Dan Miller.
He's going to gain about 4 or 5 yards on that.
Yeah, that was Chase Dannemiller on the tackle.
A pretty well executed pitch out there.
Well, 3 plays, 3 runs for Bothell. They're marching down the field. Eastlake's got to get a stop here. We got twins to the near side, 2 backs, split backs in the backfield with the pistol. Hard count. And a play action curl route to number 9.
Hit by number 11.
J.J. Maxwell's the first one there on the tackle. And another first down for Bothell.
So the Sticks move with the ball at the 29-yard line.
Eastlake has a lot of two-way players. Miles Johnson, number 20, is closest to us here. He's a tailback and a outside linebacker there. Number 3 on the opposite side, Bryson Hodges, also plays defensive back. Hard count again. It looked like a read option. Miles
Caught
Johnson
in the backfield by Johnson.
And finally, Tristan Drummond helps bring him down. I'm not familiar with Bothell's offense, but it appears they're running a true read option where the quarterback has a slow mesh and reads the defensive end, whether he gives the running back the ball or keeps it himself. That last play was a very slow mesh and picked up a few yards for the Bothell Cougars.
We got 2 backs behind him again.
Wing back to the far side. Another run up the middle, number 6. Miles Johnson gets his legs and a pack of wolves on top of him.
He gets to about the 20. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 1.
Mentioned Jack Beardall, the big senior, number 77, playing nose there. Apologies, number 40 is not on my roster. Who's the defensive end on the far side?
I saw number 40 out there last week, and I did not catch the number. Some things got shifted around there.
All right, Bothell with twins at the top, number 22 in the backfield, and a handoff. Number 34, Riley Hill was trying to strip the ball out the end of the play there, but forward progress had stopped, and that will bring up 1st and 10 from the 16. Apologies if you're tuning in here today and aren't familiar with this stadium. There's columns that support the roof, and they may be in the way of the camera from time to time. We'll do our best to avoid them. Single receiver to the bottom, twins in the backfield. Bothell shifts the tight end and the wing back to the near side. Hard count. Slow mesh handoff to number 6, and he's wrapped up in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of about 4. Jake Aaron's number 4, the senior, was first there, and then Miles, Riley, Colby, a whole host of juniors finished the tackle. That's going to bring up 2nd and long for the first time here.
That was just a good read by our defense there.
All right, we've got trips formation up to the top. Single receiver near side, and he's rolling to his left. Number 3 looking in the flats, and he's pushed out of bounds by Bryson Hodges on about the 11 or 12. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
3rd and about 3.
It's going to be interesting what Bothell calls here. They've ran the ball very effectively this drive. They just subbed out a couple of receivers. Looks like some bigger bodies coming in. Number 46 came in the left. 4 subbed in. All right, we got twins to the near side, tight end and wing back to the far side, single running back number 6. And
I'm getting a report on the stream that we've got a lot of lag here. I'll see what we can do about that at the next break.
Looks like offsides on number 2, Dominic Miller. I'm not sure what happened. I think he was just trying to time the blitz and jumped off sides, and that's going to bring up 3rd and short now. We had 3rd and 6, now it's 3rd and a yard. Big penalty there for Eastlake. All right, twins to the near side. 6 is in the backfield. Hard count, again, handoff to 6. He's got the first down and a little bit more. It's going to bring up 1st and goal.
He's sitting about the 3-yard line now.
I'm getting a couple texts that the audio's choppy. I don't know if it's better. Give us a little feedback there. And Bothell's quarterback 3 rolls out into the flats, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. I thought Miles Johnson was going to get him, but the quarterback got the edge, and Bothell's going to go up 6-0 with the PAT ahead here.
So it looks like we just got really bad internet connection here today. That's going to bring some lag and some choppiness. We apologize for that. There's really not much we can do.
All right, Bothell comes out in the old school swinging gate, sees if they can catch Eastlake sleeping, and they're not going to go for 2. They're going to kick the PAT. Snaps good, holds good, and the kick is through, and Bothell is up 7-0 here with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
And there's that train horn.
If you joined late, Eastlake won the toss, received, went 3 and out, had a great punt, and Bothell just marched down the field 71 yards with a mix of run and passes, but mostly running the ball. Number 6 and 22. 6, Wyatt Mickleberry, the senior, he also is a punt returner. 22, Cole Brook, and then the quarterback, number 3, Jalen Vyers, scored the touchdown. Chase Dannemiller, number 16, is back deep in the middle. Number 1, Cade Haraldson's on the far side, and J.J. Maxwell 11's on the near side. Last kick return, they kicked it to Cade. Got some other seniors here. Number 26 on the near side, Ethan, a senior. 33, Cade Neaton, a junior in the front row. In the middle there, 18, Nolan Budish, also a junior. And here's the kick. Kicks deep. Looks like Dannemiller's going to take it. And Chase is bringing it out. He broke a tackle on the 20, gets out to the 26-yard line. I had the pleasure of coaching Chase Dannemiller when he was younger. Several of these players I got to coach. And his younger brother is on my team right now, so I've had a couple of siblings there get to coach. All right, here's the Eastlake Wolves offense. Cade Haraldson and Bryson Hodges on the near side. Miles Johnson and Colby Johnson in the backfield and split backs. Looks like Jake Aarons at tight end on the far side. Barry Smith hands it off to Miles Johnson. Miles Johnson's got room and bouncing. This is what he does. He slips through, and he is hard to tackle.
Let's take a look at that run.
Miles is listed at 5'10". I don't think he's actually 5'10", and he's got a low center of gravity. He's very difficult to pin down.
Square to the end zone and heads downfield. Nice
I love
run
it.
there, Miles.
Twins to the near side. Haraldson and Hodges, again, split backs. Hodges in motion, fakes the end around, and Miles Johnson again with a patient run.
Big block by Beardall going up there. Had an escort of the entire front line.
Tackled by James McGee, the junior for Bothell, and that will bring up 2nd and 4 for Eastlake. A couple of nice runs there. The first drive, we threw the ball 2 plays in a row, short curl routes, and had a 3rd and long and didn't convert. But on this drive, the first 2 touches go to Miles Johnson, and we're driving. Twins to the far side, Haraldson's at the top, Hodges in the slot, Colby Johnson and Miles in the backfield. Hodges in motion, fakes the end around, gives to Colby, and Colby's got a cast, and he's fast. Colby to the 30, he's gone. 10-5, touchdown. Colby Johnson is a 100-yard sprinter. He's a big kid. You wouldn't know that he's fast, but if he gets around the edge, he is gone. I don't think he put on the full jets there. And I had a flashback, Jim. If I'm not mistaken, Colby Johnson had a pick 6 here just 3 weeks ago against Woodinville and ended up in the same end zone with the ball for a touchdown.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Fantastic run there by Johnson. We line up now for the PAT.
I love the backfield, Johnson and Johnson there. It's just 2 completely different styles of running. And Eastlake's going to go for 2 here. Miles in the backfield, Colby Johnson at wingback, Jake Aarons at tight end, Hodges in motion, They give the end around. Hodges doesn't have the edge, and a flag's thrown. Looks like they're going to call holding.
I suspect if that's against Eastlake, it will be declined.
That was an aggressive call by Coach Hare to go for 2. I don't know if there's something going on with the kicker today, but in either case, the PAT is no good, and Bothell holds on to a 7-6 lead here with 3:48 to go in the first quarter.
And Coach has shown throughout this year and last that he is aggressive. He's willing to make those bold calls. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't.
Absolutely. All right, well, here's the kickoff team for the Eastlake Wolves.
What we learned last year, by the way, in that game against Mount Si, where he made that end of the game decision to go for 2, that was the player's decision. That was not Coach's decision.
Did not know that. That's great. And really, that's what propelled them into win the Kingco and have a higher seed in the playoffs last year. That was a really big win. This is a big win, big game today, rather. Both of these teams don't have the best record, but it's a little bit deceiving because they've played tough teams.
And the losses have not been to conference games. So.
That's right. Bothell comes into this game 3-4 overall, but they're 2-2 in conference play. And Fiera with a bit of a pop-up kick, caught number 22, the tailback.
At the 23.
And he drags defenders to the 40, and Bothell will take over.
Brought down by Drummond.
Tristan Drummond is a first-year player for the Eastlake Wolves. He played for Bellevue Christian the last few years and transferred schools this year, and he's been a nice addition at safety. Back to the records. So Bothell coming off a big win against Mount Si last week. They won 32-13. But 2 weeks ago, Bothell lost to one of their rivals, Woodinville, here at Popkini 29-36.
So that would have been a conference game.
Yes.
Or league, I believe they call it. It's a league game. All right, let's see if Eastlake can tighten up defense here.
And
met immediately in the backfield.
Bryson Hodges. Interesting formation there. Bothell had trips to the far side and a wingback.
And watch this. There's absolutely no resistance to getting into the backfield there. He just right in. He's right there, takes him down immediately. So Hodges had free access to the receiver there.
Yeah, the trips formation doesn't do much for you if the receivers don't block. We got twins to the near side, wingback away, 6s in the backfield with the quarterback. Hard count. Play action, he looking downfield, looking in the flats. And
met by Colby and...
ball comes out! Oh! Colby was first there. Jake Ahrens and Bryson second, and the ball popped up and right back into the ball carrier's arms.
Fortunate for them. Wow.
But that's going to bring up 3rd and long for Bothell. Big down here. Chase Danamiller, Maxwell, and Drummond back at safety.
Ball at the 34-yard line, looking at 3rd and 16. They need the 50 to convert here.
Budish, Miller, and Johnson at linebacker. Miles Johnson comes off the edge on the bottom, and it's a screen to 6, and he's wrapped up by Nolan Budish, number 18, the junior. Big tackle in the flats. That's going to bring up 4th down, and Eastlake's going to bring the punt return squad on. Chase Danamiller is going to be back deep. Felt like we had a different defense out there than we did the first drive, Jim.
Absolutely, some great corrections or adjustments made during our offensive run. So here we are. Punting situation for Bothell. Lined up at the 18 to receive.
Snap is high. It's over the punter's head.
Over his head.
And he's going to get it off, but it's
barely gets it off.
Jake Ahrens runs into the punter but holds him up. I think that was very close to be called running into the punter, but
gave him a hug instead of knocking him down. Wise decision on Jake's part. He was so close to blocking that no way he could have stopped, so he made a great call there to just give him a little hug.
We were in a bit of a conservative punt return mode there. If the ball was snapped over the punter's head, if we would have had a little pressure, I think that could have been a more favorable outcome for Eastlake, but the Bothell punter does a good job fielding it and still getting off the punt, but Eastlake will take over on their own 39-yard line here with 1:41 to go in the first quarter. Miles Johnson and I think Dominic Miller in the backfield.
Twins to the near side.
Jake Ahrens at tight end on the far side. Hodges in motion. Fake to Hodges. Miles Johnson slips through the first line of defenders and picks up.
Gains about 10 yards.
10 yards on first down. I can't say enough good things about Miles Johnson. He runs hard, he protects the ball, and I don't know his stats this year, but he's carried the ball between 20 and 30 times most of the season, at least going back the last 5 or 6 weeks.
We've definitely watched him develop as a player over this year. Just fantastic running back there. I suspect it might be going to him again this time. Let's take a look.
Barry Smith under center, hands off again to Johnson. Patient run, bounces it outside, and stiff-arming defenders.
Gets away, gets across the line to gain, across the 50-yard line into Bothell territory at the 48.
Bothell had Miles for a 0-yard gain, and with an extra effort and a nice stiff arm.
He just bounces around, stiff arm there, slips the tackle, moves forward for 4 yards, gets the first down.
The officials were slow moving the chains. I wasn't sure what was going on there, but it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wolves as they cross midfield.
37 seconds remaining in the first quarter. We've got motion.
Barry Smith under center, hands it off to number 2, Dom Miller, the senior.
Maybe a yard.
Jim, we haven't talked about the weather yet. It's 58 degrees and currently dry. The forecast all day was for an inch of rain. Maybe it's going to come later in the day or in the game, but fortunately we're under cover here.
I was told on my way in, I chatted with one of the referees, and he mentioned that it's not going to rain because it never rains on his games.
Okay.
So we're looking good there.
That's kind of like it never rains at Otsit Stadium.
Right.
Well, that brings up the end of the first quarter, and Eastlake is driving. Exciting first quarter of football. Went pretty quick with both teams running the ball.
As we take a little break between quarters here, take a moment to thank some of our sponsors. We appreciate the support of Kinson and Kinson Homes. They've been a longtime sponsor of Wolves football. We appreciate your support. Also, we thank Pine Lake Ale House for their sponsorship of Wolves football. Thank you so much. And you may know about this next sponsor here. Have you heard of the Eastlake Youth Football Club?
I have. We'll chat a little more about that at halftime, but I actually have a game today at 4:45. I'll be running back to Eastlake and coaching the Cubs against Cedar Crest today.
Outstanding. We've got another moment. We'll thank Infinity of Bellevue for their support of Eastlake Wolves football.
I'd also like to give a shout out to the Wolves Football Association, the WFA. Jim Thatcher, you've been an instrumental piece of these live broadcasts, and we got Gabe Stormont and Sean Crandall on the cameras today. Thank you for that, and Jim Ort's leadership and the rest of the WFA. It's just been an amazing year.
Colby runs on late here, takes his position as the wingback, and we're too late. What do we got going on here? I don't see a flag. They've got to move the football a couple of inches. All right.
Well, Eastlake cross midfield. Wait a minute, is it first or second down? I lost track.
Bryson in motion.
Barry Smith looking downfield. Cornerback cuts off Cade. I think they're going to call incidental contact. No flag there.
Yeah, I think Cade made the contact there. So that drops harmlessly to the ground.
Oh, my memory lapse. Don Miller carried the ball on first down and didn't get a gain, so it was 2nd and 10 there. Sorry.
Now 3rd and 10.
Now 3rd and 10.
And folks, I know we had some difficulty with the stream early on. Please let us know if it's coming in a little bit better. I had to lower the quality of the signal, so it may not be as smooth a video, but hopefully it's not as laggy. Let us know in the comments.
Number 8, Matthew Sechrist is in the game, the receiver on the near side. Hodges to the far side. Barry Smith pitches it to Miles. Miles cuts back.
Finds a lane, moves forward for about 4 yards, but it's still going to be well shy of the line to gain.
And it looks like Coach Hare's going to go for it here on 4th down.
Not surprising. We're across midfield. He doesn't like to give it up at that point.
I thought Miles was going to break that for a second there. He's so good at that cutback. And once he gets one-on-one open field situations, it's very difficult for defenders to bring him down. He's so shifty. He's incredibly strong, stiff arm. Love it. All right, Twins on the far side. We got a timeout, Eastlake. If you joined late, Eastlake started with the ball, went 3 and out, punted. Bothell drove straight down the field, strong run game, scored. Eastlake got the ball back, and Colby Johnson scored from about 40 yards out in a nice long run. A couple of nice runs from Miles Johnson that drive. And Bothell got the ball back, went 3 and out. Now Eastlake's been driving.
I don't know if coach was hoping to get an offsides there and maybe get a free first down, but didn't get what he was looking for, so timeout taken. That's all right. He's got a couple more, and we're 11 minutes left in the half.
So back to the conference standings, Mr. Thatcher. I don't know, maybe even in the chat somebody could share this, but I understand that if Eastlake wins, there's possibly a bye next week.
That's what I've heard as well, and I've been a bit confused as I look at the Kinko page, because they're showing 3A and 4A standings mixed together.
Right. Barry Smith in the shotgun, drops back, looks down the field. He's going deep to Hodges. Hodges!
Oh, just beyond his reach. So on 4th and 4, conversion fails. Eastlake gives up the ball on downs. Bothell will have it at their own 42-yard line, 43.
I like that call. Eastlake ran a similar play last week against Bellevue. Barry Smith threw up more of a 50-50 ball that happened to be intercepted, but it was basically a punt. In that play, it was out of reach of both the defender and Hodges, and Bothell takes over on the 42-yard line.
And Hodges was down there. He's just he had beaten his man. He was just about 2 yards shy of getting to the ball.
Handoff up the middle, number 6 for Bothell. Gets through the first line, and he runs hard.
Finally brought down by Drummond after a gain of about 18 yards. First down at the 38-yard line.
This is an interesting matchup between the two teams. Eastlake runs a 3-3 sort of defense, and Bothell appears to want to just pound the ball between the tackles. I'm not familiar with their O-line, but it looks like they've got a bunch of big dudes down there. Two running backs on the near side in the backfield. Interesting formation, and a handoff to 22.
Wrapped up in the backfield. There's a flag coming in.
That's usually in the vicinity of holding, but there may have been a face mask. Yeah, face mask on Eastlake, so that's going to tack on a few more yards. Looks like Colby Johnson got called for it there. So that will tack on a 15-yard personal foul at the end of the play. And Bothell is on the 20-yard line, entering the red zone here. 10:33 to go until halftime. Bothell's got the same two backs in the backfield. 6 and 22 been running hard today. 11 at wing back on the near side. 46 at tight end. Hard count, handoff to 6, and he's tripped up by 34, Riley Hill.
Gain of about 4 there. Moves it down to the 16-yard line.
Riley Hill's had a great year this year. I think this summer he wasn't sure if he was even going to play football. He joined a little bit late, and I remember the Tumwater game and a couple others where he's just been a defensive force and made great tackles around the line of scrimmage there.
Yeah, he's going to be a great asset next year as well.
All right, Bothell still in the shotgun, 22 in the backfield. Hard count again. The play action.
Outside the reach of number 2. So it drops out of bounds. That'll bring up 3rd and 6.
I was trying to see the miscue between the quarterback and receiver there. I think he missed wide, so there was no risk of a turnover, but it wasn't catchable.
All right. Cougars in the red zone. Let's see if the Eastlake defense can hold up here.
Wing back to the far side. Late substitution for Bothell.
And did they call a timeout? They did.
I thought that was the 12th player on the field. I don't know.
I think they may have gotten the timeout called before they were at risk of a penalty.
I think you're right.
They didn't break the huddle. Sort of.
Jim, one of the fun things about these Kinko games is most of these players started playing in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade in the junior football associations. And the way we're structured here in Western Washington in the east side of Seattle is the youth teams wear the same colors and jerseys as the high school. And so Eastlake has played against Bothell. Many of these kids have played against each other, wearing the same colors, going back to 3rd or 4th grade. I love it. It's such a great culture.
Yeah. Addison's been a Wolf since he was 3rd grade.
I had the pleasure of coaching your son Ed for, I don't know, maybe 4 years, and he was always a pleasure. It's hard to believe he's a senior here on the team.
It's been a long time.
All right, Bothell's got their 2 stud running backs in the backfield, 6 and 22, twins to the far side. Hard count again. Slow mesh and knocked down by Colby Johnson. Play action, looking at some kind of pass in the flats to number 2.
Let's take a quick look at that on replay. He finally calls for the ball. Fakes the hand after the toss. Didn't get to see where it was blocked there. So they're going to go for it on. Oh, no, they're lining up for a
field goal here. It's going to be a 33-yarder from the hash into the apartments. Good snap, good hold, good kick.
Looks wide.
I think it's wide right. No good! Eastlake gets a stop. That is huge.
So Eastlake takes over on downs after a failed field goal attempt.
Jim, you and I are biased. We're Eastlake announcers. We're Eastlake dads.
And this is the Eastlake stream, so anybody that's expecting a lack of bias came to the wrong place.
But Bothell has been running the ball really, really well.
Yeah,
and I have no idea why they threw 2 plays in a row there. I felt like they were driving down, really looking to take a score lead before halftime. So that was a huge stop. Eastlake runs up the line of scrimmage quick.
Tight.
Don Miller at fullback, tight formation. Colby in motion. Miles gets it. And this looks like a scrum of the 1940s Army versus Navy.
I don't understand that one. Everybody was lined up all inside the box, and there was nowhere to go with that ball. He gained a couple of yards, so we'll give him that.
I have a feeling that play is setting up something in the second half. Coach Hare is a genius of running plays, setup plays. Let's look for that formation again.
And there they line up tight again.
3 backs in the backfield. Don Miller, Colby Johnson, Miles Johnson. Hand fake. Tight end.
Over the head of number 4.
Fake handoff to Miles Johnson. Play action. Jake Aaron's on the tight end pop, which has been a incredibly successful play for us this year.
If he had only been about 6 inches taller, I think he'd have had that.
Yeah, that was over his head. Brings up 3rd and 8. Barry Smith in the huddle calling the play. Got trips to the near side and twins to the top. Empty backfield. Barry Smith's in pistol. Barry Smith drops back, looking in the middle to Hodges.
Missed the location there. Just a little bit off on these passing today.
I was going to say, I think Barry Smith would like to have both of those back, but it's going to bring up 4th down, and Eastlake is punting.
All right. So when you're back on your own 20, you do pass.
Punter number 13, Daniel Ferreira here.
Sorry, kick, not pass.
Ed Thatcher, our favorite fullback there in the red shoes. Good snap. Gets it off. That's a decent punt because it's going to roll.
Great roll.
I like it. And that is down by number 18, Nolden Budish at the 41.
41-yard line.
I just noticed number 7, Oliver Hamilton, playing with the club today. The senior missed a few games with broken digit on his hand. I'm not sure, a pinky or what it was, but I'm glad to see him back.
Yeah. And you'll notice if you zoom in there, which you can't do and we won't, there's some nice pink wrapping on his club there. Today is Pink Out Day.
Pink Out Breast Cancer Awareness Day. We also do it at the youth level. All right, Bothell comes in a heavier formation, single receiver to the far side, 22 and 6 in the backfield as they've been all day. Hard count, handoff to 22 in the middle.
He gets through for about 5 yards.
I thought we were going to get him in the backfield for a loss, but he slipped through, and that'll bring up 2nd and 6.
Eight and a half minutes remaining in this first half.
It's been a fast half of football. The game started, I don't know, at 1:05, 28 minutes, and it's almost halftime.
All right, let's go here.
Wyatt Mickleberry in the backfield, number 6. Hard count, and they give it to Mickleberry, who follows his lineman, and he's still on his feet, finally brought down by number 2, the senior Dom Miller.
And they just bunch their entire front line together and push forward. And with that, they're able to push for another first down and get the ball over into Eastlake territory.
This Eastlake defense is incredibly difficult to get around the edge. It's hard to pass against. But with only 3 down linemen and the size of this Bothell O-line, they are trying to just pound it right at us.
2 backs. High snap.
Slow mash quarterback option 3 with the ball. Legs wrapped up by number 16, Chase Dannemiller.
Gets it forward for about 7 yards. Ball moves out to the Eastlake 43-yard line.
Again, if you're joining late, apologies of the columns that are in the screen. There's a covered roof here, and sometimes it gets in the way of the ball or the play, even from us back here, Colin. Sometimes you have to peek around it. But if you're wondering what those are, we can't get them out of the way. Bothell again, 2 running backs in the backfield, both on the far side. Interesting formation. 22 motions out, hands off to 6, the fullback, and he is running hard.
Brought down by number 3, Bryson Hodges, after a gain of about 12. Brings them right to the 30-yard line.
Nolan Budish comes out, Riley Hill goes in. Jim, we were talking about this Bothell run game, and they are sticking it to us this drive so far.
Yeah, I wish you hadn't said that.
Number 22, Cole Brook, appears to be more of the shifty back. And number 6, Wyatt Mickleberry, runs hard. He's listed at 193 pounds.
So we got a receiver to each end, 2 backs.
Hard count again. Mesh 22, the tailback. He's still driving his legs. 2, Dom Miller.
Gain of about 4. They'll spot that just outside the 25-yard line. Coach calling signals to his defense.
Feels like we're calling Dom Miller's name a lot. I think with this 3-man front, the middle linebacker's got a big responsibility to make the tackle there in these inside runs.
And I suspect we'll see another inside run here. We've got 2 backs and a receiver to each end.
Hard count, slow mesh handoff to 6. The fullback.
He gets met by Beardall there at the beginning. Gain of only about 1 that time. Moves it to the 24-yard line.
I saw Beardall aggressively going for the ball there. I was hopeful that he might have pulled it out.
Yeah, I think we may give up a yard or 2 as we're trying to get after that ball there now and then.
Jack Beardall, the senior at nose, has been a force for the Eastlake defense all season. Single back of the backfield, 22. Hard count, handoff again up the middle, following his O-line. I'd like to see Eastlake get lower.
And they got him down.
But I think that's going to move the chains.
Yeah, they're putting it right about the 20-yard line, which probably is a first down. Yep, they move the chains. Number 55 hustles in for Eastlake.
Evan Nichols, the senior, coming to give a little more force on the D-line. We were talking about the 3-man front. Looks like we are changing to a 4-man front. .22's in the backfield for Bothell.
Give to number 22. He goes up the middle, gain of a couple, brings him to the 17-yard line.
And Coach Hare's going to call timeout. Eastlake's got a lot of players that play both ways, and here late in the first half, they've been on the field for a long time, long drive, physical drive for Bothell, and Coach Hare wisely burns a timeout to give his players a drink of water and a rest here.
And as they take that timeout, we'll take time to thank some of our sponsors. We appreciate the support of Glow Airbrush Tan, a new sponsor of Wolves football. Well, thank you for your support.
Holly Ungst, woot woot.
And also Perfect Press Printing. Been supporting Eastlake football for a couple of years, helping us out with our printing needs as well. Go visit them if you've got your own printing needs. And while we're still here, we'll thank Infinity of Bellevue for their longtime support of Eastlake Wolves football. And we appreciate the support of the Pine Lake Ale House. Great place to go, grab a drink, watch the game. They often stream the games there live.
I got a couple texts that the video is streaming much better, so that's glad to see.
All right.
All right, big play here for Eastlake. It's 2nd and long, 4:20 to go in the half. Bothell has been driving with a powerful run game. Number 6 in the backfield, the 193-pound senior. Hard count, handoff to him, he slips. And he's down.
His knee went down, so it is down at the 19-yard line. Loss of a couple yards on that play.
Miles Johnson was the closest in the vicinity. I think he gets credit for the tackle, but 6 just slipped.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if there's any contact at all. If your knee hits the ground, you are down.
Here's what I love about that last play. Eastlake had subbed in an extra D lineman. I guess he's not in there anymore, but what I'm glad to see is we were physical and got a push. 6 was trying to bounce it outside and couldn't. All right, 2 running backs on the near side. It's going to be quarterback keeper. He's trying to cut it up. He does.
Met by number 18 and then finished off by a few others.
Uh-oh, a late flag comes in. I hope that's not unsportsmanlike on Eastlake. I did see some pushing.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of frustration from some of our boys down there. They need to keep that in check.
Ooh, I don't like this, Jim. That was a huge 3rd down stop. It was probably going to bring up a field goal kick, and this could bring up a 1st down if it's against Eastlake. To me, it looked like there was extracurricular on both sides. It could be offsetting, but we will see what the officials call. I don't like that at all, Jim.
No, you got to keep your emotions inside. Go ahead and put the emotion into the tackles, but after the play, you gotta just stop, pull away.
Well, after a huge stop on 3rd down, it's going to be 1st and goal for Bothell, who has been running very well this drive.
All right, now the defense definitely has their work cut out for them with the ball inside the 10.
Tight end Hunter Small and 11, the wing back on the near side, split back in the backfield, handoff to 6 up the middle. He's following his O-lineman, driving his legs. Eastlake's trying to push the pile too high.
And they finally call it, probably at about the 3. Yeah, I'd love to see our defenders getting down lower. I remember as you all were coaching Ed back when he was about 10 years old. Low man wins.
Low man wins. And we were not the low man on that last play.
We were not. So we got pushed back for about 6 yards. Ball sitting at the 3. Some substitutions on the Bothell side.
11 was the wing back. They subbed him out for another receiver. So they got split backs, tight end on the near side, both running backs on the near side. Handoff to 6 up the middle, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown.
His way in.
Wyatt Mickleberry.
All right, and that's one that you can attribute to that penalty.
Bothell's PAT comes out with the old school swinging gate. Let's see if they catch Eastlake sleeping. They don't. And likely that they're going to kick the PAT now. You don't see the swinging gate so much anymore. I remember Oregon used to run it a ton back in the day. Snap, hold, kick is good.
That one's in. So Bothell goes up to 14. Wolves sit at 6. And we've got 2:30 left in this half. So as we do that, let's thank our sponsors, Kinson and Kinson Homes, who appreciate your support of Eastlake Wolves football. And once again, we'd like to comment on the support of the Eastlake youth football.
Today, most of the youth Eastlake is at home at the Eastlake Stadium playing. I haven't got all the updates. I understand that the varsity level, which is mostly 8th graders, some 7th graders, beat Skyline at home, so that's always nice to beat our Plateau neighbor there.
Absolutely.
All right, here we are, 2.5 before halftime. I'd really like to see Eastlake come away with some points here. Chase Dannemiller is back deep. Cade Haroldson and J.J. Maxwell are the up-backs. Bothell has kicked it deep both times. Haroldson fielded one and Dannemiller the other, so I expect the same. And they pound it deep again. It looks like Dannemiller is going to field it on the 5. And
hits about 3 yards after contact, brings it out to the 21-yard line.
Good coverage there by Bothell. I thought Chase might have had a seam for just a second, but the window opened and closed quickly. So a 2:24 in the second. Eastlake will take over. Definitely an explosive offense. We have the capability of putting points on the board here. Haroldson on the near side, Dannemiller on the far side. Ahrens is in at tight end on the near side. I can't tell, another tight end on the far side, Miles Johnson in the backfield. Barry Smith and shotgun, hands off to Miles Johnson, pulling guards, and Miles slips through.
Breaks through, gets about 10 yards. He's out to the 30. Let's see if they mark that as a
second down.
Yeah, 2nd and 1.
Talked a little bit about Barry Smith earlier. I can't say enough good things about Ryder. He came in the Eastside Catholic game, the first game of the year, after really not practicing at quarterback that much, and he's really taken this offense under his wing all season and done an exceptional job.
That's going to be a first down for the Wolves there. Yeah, I remember before the season started, he didn't want to play quarterback. He wanted to be wide receiver, and we were looking at some down-level folks to come in for.
Here he is, Barry Smith to Dannemiller. Great slant. That's going to bring it down at the 47 with 1:40 to go, and the clock stops while they move the chains.
Let's see if we've got time to watch that replay there.
That was a great throw. A couple earlier throws were off.
The last one. Sorry about that.
Colby Johnson in the backfield, and Barry Smith in shotgun with 1.5 minutes. Handoff to Johnson up the middle, and he's going to get just about to midfield. Hare calling in with signals.
And Barry Smith was coming over before the play ended to get the signal for the next play.
Uh-oh, we've got an Eastlake Wolf down on the field.
Okay, 1:13 remaining in the game. We get the trainer out there to take a look at someone.
Yeah, back to Barry Smith. He's the same age as my son Estes, and I had the pleasure of coaching Ryder going back to 4th grade. He was a really good receiver in youth. He's not the fastest guy, not the strongest guy, but a very smart player. And this year at quarterback has been an interesting evolution watching him play. A lot of deep balls. There's some great senior receivers on this Eastlake offense with Haroldson and Hodges, Maxwell, Sechrist. Tall targets also, and he's done a great job stretching the field and really learning how to use his arm.
He has the advantage that his older brother was a quarterback here at Eastlake for a couple of years.
He was, and I don't know the numbers, but I believe his older brother in that season set the all-time record for most touchdowns for an Eastlake quarterback.
It was a great year for them.
I lose track. Was that last year or the year before?
That was Edison's freshman year, so that was 3 years ago.
Okay, yeah. Well, last year it was Renfro in the playoffs.
All right, our player is up off the field, walking off. Looks like he's got a little bit of a limp there. I suspect we'll see him back in before the end of the game.
That's the center, Henry Volpone there. So we've got a new center in the game.
That's
55, Evan Nichols. Miles Johnson in the backfield. Hodges on the far side.
And Caden Eaton rushes in.
Caden at tight end. Double tight with Aarons and Caden. Snaps off a little bit. Barry Smith rolls out. Looks down at field.
Throws it out of bounds.
There was a little pushing, but it was not catchable. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7 here. What do you do, Jim, here? Do you try to get the first down, or do you take 2 shots down the field?
Well, given where we are and given Coach Hare's history, I suspect this is 4-down territory, certainly this point of the game. So he's going to go to get that first down, but if he doesn't get it, he's going to take it anyway.
Last week we ran a couple of good screen plays to Miles. I'd like to see that right now. Oh, no. Bad snap over.
Went over his head.
He fields it, and Barry Smith's trying to make lemonade here.
And he gets it safely out of bounds.
Athletic play by Ryder there. The ball was snapped over his head. We mentioned we've got a new center in the game. Not ideal.
So the punt team comes out.
Great play by Ryder to get that ball picked up and throw it away. Saved about 15 or 20 yards.
Yeah, that was in dangerous territory after it went over his head.
All right, well, it doesn't look like we're going to get points, so if we can get a good punt here and get a stop before halftime. Good snap, Fiera Daniel. Good punt, good roll.
And it rolls inside the 10, or just about to the 10. Going to put it at the 11-yard line, 12.
Good job, Daniel. I suspect Bothell will just pound it a couple times and go into halftime with the lead, but maybe they stretch it. We have not seen them throw a ball really downfield yet today. A couple curl routes and flat routes, but nothing deep.
I'd love to see them try it deep and have us grab it and go in for 6.
I'd love it. I would love it.
Again, this is not unbiased commentary today.
If you didn't notice, Jim and I love Eastlake football.
This stream would not happen if we didn't.
And Bothell is just going to take a knee.
Or a butt. That was the most reverse-leaning knee I've ever seen taken.
That was awesome.
Okay.
Don't go to sleep because they might try to do something here. Make sure they kneel it. This would be an ideal trick play to fake the knee and do something unexpected.
And they do take the knee. So we'll head off to halftime here.
All right, well, that was a good half of football. Eastlake moved the ball well, but stalled out a couple times there. Bothell's run game's been impressive. It'll be a new half. I think Coach Harrell will make some adjustments to stop that inside run. I've not been impressed with the Bothell passing game. Eastlake's plays with the 3-3 with the 3 deep safeties. I could see us being a little bit more aggressive around the line of scrimmage here in the second half.
I would also expect that our passing game is going to be on target a little bit better. That last pass was right on target.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Beautiful throw. We're going to see more of that. And as we head into the half, we want to encourage you all to support our sponsors. Again, we thank Kinson & Kinson Homes for their longtime support of Eastlake Wolves football. Thank you so much. Eastlake Wolves Youth Football Association. They've been a sponsor now, new sponsor this year. Thank you. But they've always been supporting us by sending players in through the bottom and feeding them up. Thank you to Perfect Press Printing. We appreciate your support of Eastlake football.
Jim, I really appreciate you. I know I've said this before, but the time that you put into this production and what you started with and what we're doing now, it's evolved, and you've got partners in crime here, live streaming the JV games and even the freshman games. And it's just been so great to be able to watch every game. I coach youth football, and we usually have practice on Friday nights, and so sometimes the road games, so I'm not able to to attend, and I love that I can sit in my living room on a Friday night and watch a game. This is my first game announcing a whole game, and I'm having a blast today, but I appreciate the time and the energy and what you've established here. I really do hope that others carry the torch as Ed's a senior here. I don't know what your future is. I'm giving you a wink right now, but I thank you so much for what you've done for the Eastlake program over the last number of years.
Well, thank you, Dave. It's definitely been a labor of love, and I would not have been able to do it without the support of our cameraman. Sean Crandall has been here most of the time. Last year we had a senior that ran cameras for us for several of the games, Harrison Carter. We appreciated his support. And then, of course, Jason Renfro on mics with me most of the time. He's got a conflicting youth game today, so not able to join us. And then for the JV and the freshman games, I really love getting out there with my son, Ed, with him on the microphone. He loves announcing the games, does a great job of it. So, again, a labor of love. It's something that I've been doing going on 4 years now. And planning to hand it off, but looking for the folks to hand it off to.
Well, next year, my oldest, Estes, will be a senior, and he's sitting out this year with the knee injury, but I will be excited to enjoy his senior season next year. I have a fifth grade
of you at
son.
home that are enjoying watching this and are in the area with children in the program, we're definitely looking for folks to join us next year, take over the job of not just commentary, but we need somebody with a technical background to do the production that I've been doing for 4 years now.
That is a on-air solicitation for some help. So if you're
Absolutely.
listening, shout out to the WFA, hit Jim Ort up, or anybody that's a member of the WFA, and I'm sure they can get you plugged in there.
Give me a call. I'll be happy to teach you what I know and get you ready to take over next year.
What I was going to say is I've got a son that's a fifth grader. He's a Cub. He's played football now for the Eastlake Youth Program for a couple years. But I had the fortune of having two boys. Estes, the older one's a junior now. And so many of the players that are playing today, I had the fortune of coaching for 4 or 5 years and really know them intimately. But what I would say is this Eastlake community is special. There's a group of people that volunteer a tremendous amount of time and energy in organizing all the things that go around football season, whether it's feeding the players or the productions for homecoming and everything from fog machines to posters of the seniors on the field and even painting the building and sound systems. It really is a community that comes together that supports more than just football. The cheer and dance teams are part of it, the youth's part of it, and I love the high school families that Ed, your son, was part of. They've really built up a culture of as you mentioned, service, of volunteering their time. And so here's my on-air solicitation to the rookie parents, the Cub parents, the soft parents, and maybe you're new in the youth football program, but it doesn't happen by accident. And nobody's paid to do this. The more people we have volunteer and contribute in any capacity, it just makes it better for everyone. So if you're a parent out there and maybe you are new to the program, or maybe you're not even part of the program yet and you want to be, it is a very welcoming organization, and it only gets better with your support. So shout out to any of the parents there that are not part of the WFA or haven't volunteered before. We'd love to have you participate next year.
I really appreciate that, Dave. You're absolutely right. It takes a village, as they say. This production, the entire production, not just the stream, but everything around Friday nights is volunteer driven. It takes a lot of financial support, and we are very grateful for the generous financial support from the community. But there's a handful of key volunteers, key families that are just there every Friday, Saturday this weekend, making sure that everything's taken care of and the players have what they need to be able to have a great game.
So back to the youth. Let's have some fun here and do some youth standings. I'm going to pull it up on my phone here. The 8th grade team, which in youth is called Varsity, has had a wonderful season. I understand they won today, and that would make them 8-0, undefeated on the season, going into the playoffs. Let's see here, just pulling it up. Yeah, Eastlake is 8-0, first seed in the Division A, and Mount Si is 8-0 and the number 1 seed in Division B. And the way the youth football playoffs work is the 1 seed from Division A plays the 4 seed from Division B, and the 2 seed plays the 3 seed on the opposite side, and they work through to the championship. It's 3 weeks of playoffs. Last year, the championship was here at Pop Keeney. I actually got to call the game with your help, Mr. Thatcher, and it was Eastlake versus Mount Si, and Mount Si came away the champions. So it'll be interesting if both teams make it to the championship again, because it's a whole new set of kids, but both teams are undefeated and appear to be headed towards a rematch, possibly here at Pop Keeney. I don't believe the championship game location has been decided. The clubs that participate in the GEFA, the GEJFA, are most of the Kingco teams. It's Skyline, Bellevue, Redmond, Lake Washington, Bothell, North Creek, Woodinville, Inglemoor, Mount Si, Liberty, Mercer Island, may have missed somebody there, Cedar Crest. But the championship game is kind of a rotating location. Everybody likes Pop Keeney because, as you notice here, there's no track, so the fans are very close to the field, and it does have covered stands. But last couple years it's been here. Before that, Mount Si had hosted a few years in a row. I know that Liberty would really like to host. They've got a covered stands. They do have a tracks here a little farther away, but I think that decision will be made here shortly. But Pop Keeney is a very special football field. As we mentioned, there's 4 teams that share this field: the Bothell Cougars, Woodinville Falcons, Inglemoor Vikings, and North Creek Jaguars. And as such, this field's hard to get playing time at it. I feel bad for the youth teams because between girls soccer and the high school football games on the weekends, the youth teams rarely get to play here. I've actually coached here on an odd Sunday afternoon where we played a youth game just to get some field time. But this is a great stadium. A lot of history here for the east side of Seattle.
And with that, I'm going to take a moment. We're going to drop the stream just briefly so that I can make some adjustments, and hopefully we can get a little bit smoother stream for the second half. So the video is going to drop here for a little bit. Don't panic, it's coming back. Video and audio will drop. So we'll be off for just about 35 seconds. Be back with you shortly.
All right, we're back on here. About 9 minutes to go in halftime break here. The Bothell band is impressive. They had an impressive Star Spangled Banner at the beginning and quite the halftime performance here. I see my friend Maggie Johnson, one of the cheerleaders down to my front left. She's the twin sister of our junior running back, Miles Johnson. Shout out to Sarah Goldie, our athletic director, is down on the field. This is her first year as athletic director. She's also the basketball coach for the girls program and doing a great job with Eastlake Athletics this fall. All right, so back to the youth conversation, just sharing some other thoughts there. On the JV division, which is mostly 7th graders, we haven't had as solid of a year, so I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. Our sophomores, however, are 5-1 going in today. They had one bye week, should finish the season 6-1. Tied for first place, except I believe Skyline has a tiebreaker. I'm not sure how that'll shuffle out, but the Eastlake kids that are on the soft team were Cubs last season and made the championship game and fell short to Mount Si. In the sophomore level, on the other division, Mount Si White is undefeated. In the Eastlake division, or Division A, Skyline, Eastlake, and Mercer Island all have one loss. So it'll be interesting how that shuffles out. The sophomore division is 11-man football. The next younger levels, Cubs and rookies, are 8-man football. Used to be 11-man, but as we've had some smaller numbers at the younger levels, it got shifted about 4 or 5 years ago. And the Cubs, which is the team I coach, were 5-2. We've got a game here at 4:45 today, and if we can win that, we will make the playoffs and be excited to have 3 more games potentially. And our rookies, coached by Justin Stiles, they've lost 1 game to Bothell and should go into the playoffs as a number 2 seed. So it's exciting that at 4 of the 5 levels, Eastlake has competitive teams that are going to go at least to the playoffs, hopefully second round or the championship. And what that tells me is we've got a future here. And I'm excited that we have some depth at the youth levels and great coaches also coming up. Just going back to the weather, and I'm nervous about this because I'm coaching here in a couple hours. I'm just checking my phone here. It looks like it's supposed to start here in the next half hour, but we have been very fortunate to have a dry first half. The forecast today called for nearly 1 inch of rain. The temperature's comfortable. It's almost 60 degrees out, but I think the storm is coming here a little bit later. And according to my iPhone, the rain's going to ramp up here over the next few hours, but for now we've got good conditions. So again, chatting about the Kinko standings, Jim and I were talking about the mix of 3A and 4A. It's new this year. I'm not sure that we all understand it, but the way that the Kinko standings are right now, I believe if Eastlake's able to pull this off, they will win the 4A Kinko championship for our division. Eastlake does have 3 losses this year, but they're all to really good teams. And so Eastlake's still a playoff contender. I'm just checking out the Kinko Athletics website here, and just doing some score reviews. Looks like Bellevue thumped Woodinville last night, 55-7. Skyline with a close game beats Mount Si 23-20. And this is what's called the Crown Division. The Kinko Crest Division has teams like Lake Washington, Juanita, North Creek, Issaquah, Liberty, Highline. But on the standings for the Crest Division, rather the Crown Division, Bellevue is undefeated. They're 7-0 on the year, 5-0 in conference play, but they're 3A, so they will not be in the playoffs with the 4A teams. It's interesting that they're mixing 3A and 4A teams in the same conference or division for regular season, but it'll play out differently in the playoffs. So as it sits for 4A, Eastlake is 3-1 in the conference. Bothell is 2-2. So if Bothell wins today, both teams would have 2 losses and Bothell would have the tiebreaker. If Eastlake wins the 4A conference championship. So effectively, this is a prelude to the conference championship.
And with that, let's hope that coach's adjustments at halftime are going to make a difference here. I'm going down by 8 points as we come into the second half. You can see the cheerleaders and dance team getting ready to welcome the Bothell team back on the field. Eastlake taking the field at the far end.
Yeah, just a recap of the first half. Eastlake started with the ball, went 3 and out. Bothell drove down the field with a really strong one game, scored. Eastlake came back and had a nice drive. Miles Johnson had a few good runs, and then Colby Johnson busted a long run to effectively tie the game, although
and for those of you that are train fans, there's the whistle.
I think if you're a home team, that train horn's a lot more enjoyable. But back to the first half, Eastlake scored, went for 2, didn't get it. It was a 7-6 lead for Bothell. Then a couple of series where both teams didn't have much offensive production, and then before halftime, Bothell drove down inside the red zone. Eastlake gets a stop on 3rd down, and then we got a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty, which was really disappointing because the defense did a good job getting a stop. Gave Bothell a 1st and 10, and they scored to go up 14-6. Prior to half, Eastlake had a nice drive. Ryder Bravesmith had a great throw to Dana Miller to get out to midfield, and then our center got injured. We brought in a backup center and had a miscue, punted, and then Bothell need to end the half. So Bothell will start with the ball here in the second half, and I suspect they're going to continue to try to run the ball. Eastlake did make some adjustments, adding some more beef on the D-line. Bothell's runs have largely been between the tackles with the running backs, the 2 seniors, number 22 and number 6, just following the big offensive line for the Bothell Cougars. I do think in the second half, Jim, that Eastlake's going to come out and commit more to that inside run, which may expose the edges or the passing game, but I think we have to stop that inside run if we're going to shift the momentum of this game.
Yeah, they've been eating us up with that run so far, getting 4 or 5 yards a carry. It's just really hard to stop them from scoring if they're making 4 or 5 yards a carry.
If you haven't been to Pop Keeney before or seen a live stream here, there's apartments just to the south of the field. You can see the scoreboard and the apartments behind it, and of course there's always the jokes if the extra points or field goals are going to break a window or
and
what kind of
seat
seat
you have. That
happened
a couple of years ago. We had a kicker that had a little more power in his leg, kicked it over the net and right through the window of one of those apartments.
I did not know that. That is a good factoid. Who pays for that?
I have no idea.
I don't think you can charge the kicker.
You can't charge the kicker. I think that's one of those homeowners' risks of being where they are. So I suspect the homeowners' insurance kicked in there, although there may be some contribution from the field itself. I don't know.
If that was in September on a warm summer night, it wouldn't be a big deal. But this time of year, if you got a broken window, you're not very happy for a few days.
Definitely not.
I see Peyton Goldie coming up the stairs. Peyton has done a amazing job with some of the social media and reels and different things, videos for Eastlake. And I am thankful for Peyton Goldie. I love the videos and the posts and the highlights that he's done for this team. It really makes it special for the seniors as they have a lifelong memory here. Well, that was a fast first half. It's 2:12 here. I'm not sure what time we kicked off at, but we're going to start the second half inside of an hour and 15 minutes from the original start time. I was watching some highlights on the Bothell quarterback before this game, and I'm a little bit surprised that we haven't seen more screens, runs, in different plays from him. Number 3, Jalen Vyers, the senior. The highlights I saw, he's a dual threat quarterback. He can run and throw. But today it's been all 22 and 6, the 2 senior running backs. For Eastlake, it was probably our weakest pass performance in the first half. I suspect that we're going to throw the ball more this half, and Ryder will catch his stride. He's warming up right now with Cade Haraldson on the far side. Give a shout out to some of the guys on kickoff team here. Bryson Hodges on the far side. Hudson Hanna, the senior, number 15. Nolan Budish, 18. 41, Caden Newton. Riley. Oh. I didn't know that. Jack Devine, okay.
Just calling the referee and saying, hey, I'm eligible here. He switches jersey.
Oh, there you are. Jim's back.
All right, well, you may not have heard much of what I said there. Here's the kick.
All right, pooch kick here. Number eight fields it, bobbles it a little, and he's hit from J.J. Maxwell. And we are off and running in the second half here. All right, Jim, can the defense stop this Bothell run game?
Bothell starts at their own 39-yard line. Good field position after that kick. So as I was saying when my mic was muted, we found out that number 40 is Jack Devine. He's switching jerseys between 40 and 57, depending on which position he's playing.
Well, I'm good. I'm glad to see Jack Devine out there, number 57 on the D-line right now. Jack Beardall, 77, and Jake Aarons, 4. Miles Johnson and Hodges at the outside positions. Riley Hill in the game here. And we do have 4 D-linemen in the game. 2 running backs, offset, 6 motions, then another run up the middle, 22, what we saw in the first half.
And they just used their line and pushed forward. This time they only pushed for a yard.
I'm not sure what happened. Jack Beardall went rolling on the 45-yard line. I don't know if he tripped or if he got hit. He's a big boy. It's pretty hard to throw Jack Beardall around, but he got back up. Bothell in the shotgun, double tight, 6 in the backfield. Hard count, Eastlake stays on side. Beardall did move but didn't cross the line. Looking to the sideline for an audible here. Hard count, handoff up the middle to 6, and Jake Aarons swallows him up for a 3-yard loss.
That was beautiful. Let's take a look at that one.
Jake Aarons, the senior, has had an outstanding season. I was fortunate to call a few plays at the Skyline game, and he scored a huge touchdown to seal that victory. And here today, he's playing defensive end and tight end and has a huge stop to bring up 3rd down and 10. Eastlake looking to get a huge stop here the first drive of the second half. Bothell with twins to the near side, trips rather, with the wing back. Last time they ran this, they ran a bubble screen to the trip side. Hard count, quarterback rolls out, and it's a screen to the backside. We talked about this before game, and Nolan Budish sniffs it out but misses the tackle. And he's finally brought down by Dan Miller and Dom Miller.
Gain of about 23 yards on that one.
Oh, we talked about the screen earlier, and we hadn't seen it yet. It was a good call by Bothell. Nolan Budish was there. I think if he makes the tackle, then we're in a punt situation. But the Bothell ball carrier made a good play, and that's going to bring up first down inside Eastlake territory.
Well executed by Bothell on that one.
Bothell with the no huddle, getting signs from the sideline. Looks like 2 tight ends to the near side, heavy formation. No, sorry, single tight. Again, run up the
22
middle.
Gets it.
And he's still dragging defenders. Hodges had his legs, but 22 dragged him for about 2 or 3 yards.
And
Now,
Nichols
Jim
comes in.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, just commenting. Number 55, Nichols comes in. Jack Beardall comes out.
I am a little bit nervous about the quarterback keeper there. We're so committed to the inside run, to the handoff to 22 and 6. The quarterback did look like he may have pulled it there. 2 running backs in the backfield. Hard count, looking over for the signs.
Gained about 2.5 yards on that last one, so they're looking at 2nd and 8.
Hard count,
Get to
handoff.
6. He finds a hole, gets forward across the 30. About a 4-yard gain there.
That was more of an outside power run than we've seen. Bothell's really been running between the tackles, even between the guards, but that was a bit of a sweep play.
Moves the ball to the 29-yard line. 3rd and 2.
Number 46, the tight end on the near side, Hunter Smole. My son played lacrosse with him a few years ago.
It looks like we may have gone offsides that time.
We did this. Bothell quarterback barks a really hard count, and Jim, we teach this going into the third graders. On 3rd and short, the gravy train is to get the defense offsides on a hard count, and unfortunately Eastlake bit there, and it's going to bring up first down for Bothell.
Yeah, give them a free one.
That is frustrating.
All right, so the ball moves down now to the 24-yard line.
All right, both backs in the backfield, tight end on the near side, handoff to 6 up the middle. He's got blockers.
He gets across the 10. Now it's going to be 1st and goal.
Beardall was out for that play, and Bothell took advantage of it and pounded it right up the middle. Jim, I love this Eastlake defense more than anybody, but I am a little bit frustrated with the tackles right now. We've got to wrap up these running backs' legs. They run hard, and they've got a good line in front of them.
Yeah, again, got to get low, got to wrap up.
All right, both backs in the backfield on the far side with the wing back. Quarterback keeper to the wing back side, cuts it up, and he's going to get in the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the day.
From about 8 yards out, he runs in.
I'm sure that Bothell has variations of that play, but it's somewhat predictable where they've got the wing back and both running backs on that far side. The quarterback's effectively got 3 lead blockers, and whether he breaks it outside or cuts it up, it's a hard play to defend. Eastlake did not adjust, and Bothell's going to have a 2-score lead now.
And they line up for the kick.
Technical check there, sorry. All right, Bothell's going to kick off with the lead, 21-6. Huge 3rd down conversions that drive. And Chase Dillman earlier is back deep. Low kick. Looks like it's going to go out of bounds, and it will. Eastlake will be a flag thrown. If you kick it out of bounds, it's a legal procedure. And the kick return team will get the ball on the 35, I believe. The Bothell student section is rocking. The Eastlake student section in front of us is a little flat right now. I'd like to see a little more energy. And here we go. Eastlake's first drive of the 2nd half. Jake Aarons at tight end on the near side. Miles and Colby Johnson in the backfield. Bryson Hodges and Cade on the far side, and Barry Smith under center. Jet sweep, handoff to Colby, and he is through and rumbling.
Great run by Colby Johnson there.
I give Colby credit. He's got a cast on his right arm, and I know it's hard to hold on to the ball, and he just plows forward for a 13-yard gain on 1st down.
Had a little issue with our replay here. Have to figure out what's going on there.
All right, again, Hodges and Haraldson on the far side, split backs in the backfield. Barry Smith under center. Hodges in motion, fakes the jet sweep again, and Colby up the middle again. And I don't love the spot, but he's going to be 2nd and short. The official on the near side that spotted the ball was way behind the play, and I don't know if they had the right angle of where Colby went down at, but it'll bring up 2nd and short here. All right, I love the idea of taking a shot here on 2nd and short. I'm sure we can get the first down on 3rd and 1. Look for a deep ball to Haraldson here.
Hodges in motion.
Nope, handoff to Miles Johnson, and he slips through. still on his feet, gets down to the 32-yard line. Gain of 10 on 2nd and 1. I can't blame Coach here. We're getting 10 yards to carry right now. Why make a change? Barry Smith going over to the sideline to get the call in from Coach Hare, and Barry Smith is calling the play in the huddle here. Hodges on the near side. Aaron's at tight end. Haroldson on the far side. Bo Johnson's in the backfield and split backs. Barry Smith handoff to Colby Johnson up the middle, and he's bouncing it outside. He's got wheels. Good run by Colby.
5-6 yards there.
Colby is not the shifty runner that Miles is, but he did a great job bouncing outside there with his wheels. I thought he might get around the corner, but he cut it up, and a nice gain on first down. Bring up another 2nd down and short. Eastlake sticking with the 2-back formation, and Barry Smith under center. Haroldson on the near side. Barry Smith hands off to Miles. Miles cuts it up and carries a piggyback ride of a Bothell defender for about 6 yards inside the red zone, and it's going to be 1st and 10 Eastlake for their first drive of the second half here. Great drive. I'm really impressed how Eastlake's running the ball. I see some hands on the hips on the Bothell sideline. Let's just keep wearing them out here. Barry Smith under center, split backs, hands off to Miles Johnson, and
not much there. He maybe picks up a yard.
There wasn't anywhere to go. Somehow the Eastlake O-line was laying on the ground, and Miles ran into him. He picked up maybe a yard. I guess they gave him 2 or 1. The scoreboard just changed it back to 2nd and 9. All right, we got Twins on the near side, staying with the 2-back formation. Jake Aarons is in at tight end on the far side. Don't go to sleep on him. Pitch to Miles.
He finds the inside lane, inside the 10. Looks like it's going to be a first down. They're going to mark that at the 8-yard line.
I thought for sure Miles was going to bounce it outside. It looked like he had room to run, but when he cut it up the seam, he is hard to tackle. He's slippery, and another Eastlake first down. This has been the Johnson & Johnson drive.
That's a 1st and goal from the 8.
Haroldson on the far side, Johnson & Johnson in the backfield, Aaron's on the near side with Hodges. And handoff to Colby, pounded up the middle.
Nope, he breaks to the outside. And
touchdown!
And they do call that a touchdown.
That is Colby's end zone. He's got 2 down there today. In the Woodinville game, he had the pick 6 in that same end zone. Great drive by Eastlake. Coach Hare is going to go for 2 here. With the way we've been pounding the ball, I wouldn't be surprised if we run. Bothell subs in, I believe, a D lineman. Okay, it's a different formation than we've seen earlier in the drive. Colby's in the wing left. Hodges and Haroldson both there. Miles in the backfield. Pitch to Miles. Miles has got the edge, and he's going to go in for the 2-point conversion, and we've cut the score to a 7-point lead.
All right, I think we've got our replay fixed up here now. Let's take a look at that one.
I love the call. Eastlake's got 3 lead blockers.
Blocking.
Much like the Bothell touchdown on the other end, the Twins and the wingback. Miles can read those lead blockers, and if Miles has any room to run, he's going to get it in there.
We got ourselves a ball game.
Not one pass there, Jim. We pounded the rock, Johnson & Johnson the entire drive, and Eastlake cuts it to a 1-score game. Here, I cannot believe there's only 4:24 to go in the third quarter. This might be the fastest high school football game ever.
It's going quick. Now what we need to see is we need to see the defense tighten up, respond the same way that the offense just did, and just stop the Bothell offense.
I would like to see the Eastlake student section get a little rowdy here. I know we're losing, but the defense needs your support.
They're a little thin and a little flat. It's a Saturday afternoon game. Hard to get an away game.
Here's Wilson Fang, big number 59, running down the middle. And
11 catches him.
J.J. Maxwell with a tackle just crossed 35-yard line, and the Eastlake defense will come out. You'll notice a lot of the same guys that are on offense play defense here. Miles Johnson, who just scored the 2-point conversions on the near side. Colby Johnson, 44, who scored the both touchdowns today, is on the far side. Does look like Haraldson is out of the game. The safeties are Maxwell, Dana Miller, and Tristan Drummond. Oh, Miles looks like he lost his mouth guard in the end zone. I'm not sure, but he didn't have time to sanitize it.
But it's in his mouth, so they can start playing.
All right, wing back tight end on the near side. They both shift. Two backs in the backfield look for Bothell to run to the far side, and they do on the sweep.
And there's a flag thrown. I was looking for that one because we were in there. Again, that was
that's our
Divine.
Buddy. Yeah, that is Divine. We learned that he has 2 jersey numbers, and
he broke in there, but then he was completely tackled to the ground, and they'll call that holding every time.
We really haven't had a lot of flags today. We had the one huge 15-yarder on us that set up the second touchdown. Eastlake's jumped off sides, I think, twice. But this is the first big penalty against Bothell. It's going to set up 1st and 20.
Should be about 21 because in high school football, holding is a spot foul. They're supposed to mark it 10 yards from the spot that the foul took place.
All right, Eastlake making some adjustments here. They've got trips to the far side with the wing back. Hard count by the quarterback, and it's quarterback keeper to the far side. Looks like it's an option, and he's hit hard by Jake Aarons on the 28-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd and 17 or so.
And that was looking like he was trying to figure out, is he going to pitch it, is he not? He doesn't pitch it. Jake Aarons gets a hold of him, drags him down. Big play there. So we're looking at 2nd and 18 for the Cougars.
I do believe that it was a true option. The quarterback looked like he could have pitched it, but he kept it himself. All right, Bothell's got twins on the near side, split back still in the backfield. Look for a pass here, and it's a play action, throw in the flats.
And it's
just
dropped
through the hands of number 2, Elandria Ozuna, the senior. It was catchable. It wasn't a great throw. It was a good play call.
And he was open.
He was open. Eastlake was not in position. Bothell set that up. Their run game's been so solid today that you have to respect them, and that was a play action, basically a curl here on the near side, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 17. Trips to the near side. Colby almost jumps offside, and he does.
And he does. So now it's going to be 3rd and 12.
I didn't think he crossed the line of scrimmage there, but the line judge has a better view than we do. That's going to bring up 3rd and 12. I'll take 3rd and 12. I like 3rd and 17 better, Mr. Thatcher, but
Yep. Got a way of getting ourselves into a hole there on 3rd downs, don't we?
All right, trips at the bottom here. I see potentially a screen pass to the tailback. Let's see what happens here. Hard count again. Quarterback drops back. He's looking to the middle, and he's got a receiver.
Overthrows his receiver.
Tristan Drummond was in the area. I don't think he could have picked it. That ball was a laser. And Eastlake is going to get a stop here and get a chance to go down and tie the game.
That'll be nice. Good to see a stop. Looking for the defense to tighten up like that. Great coverage, and the penalty helped.
All right, here we go. Chase Dana Miller, the senior, is back to return. His brothers Silas and Callan are playing rookies and Cubs later today. And it's I thought for a second it was going to, yeah, I thought it was going to be a fake for a second. And
I do not like this. No receiving on the punts.
No, I don't either. I think Chase should have caught that.
But there again, I think that's a decision on the coaching end where he's been coached not to. And
well, there's a confidence piece to it. I returned some punts back in my day, and there's no more miserable feeling than fumbling a punt return and giving the ball back. So if you don't feel like you're confident to make that play, then get out of the way and let the offense come onto the field.
So the Wolves take it at the 15-yard line, backed up deep.
All right, Colby Johnson's in the backfield with Miles. Same formation we saw last drive. Aaron's tight end on the far side. Haroldson and Hodges in. Miles Johnson with the handoff, and he's
goes wide, tripped up, makes a little gain, but not much.
He had room to run. That was a good tackle by the Bothell defender there. It's going to bring up 2nd and long.
Okay, so they did get him behind the line of scrimmage.
All right, this is interesting. Devine is in the game for Colby Johnson. Look for a double tight end set here. Twins to the near side. Yes, Jake Aaron's on the near side and Devine on the far side. Barry Smith in the shotgun now with Miles next to him. Draw play, handoff to Miles. Miles cuts
Finds
it
a
back.
little bit of room up the middle, but not much.
It's going to bring up 3rd and long. What do you see on 3rd and long here, Jim?
I suspect we're going to see a pass. We're deep in our own territory. I suspect there's going to be a throw.
Last week, Eastlake executed a beautiful screen pass to Miles twice against Bellevue, maybe even 3 times before Bellevue figured out how to stop it. I would like to see that right now.
All right, so we got 2 receivers to the near side.
Miles is in the backfield with Ryder Barry Smith. Uh-oh, bad snap.
Oh,
Ryder picks it up and is looking for a receiver.
Throws it out of bounds.
That's the 2nd bad snap. There is a flag on the field.
I wonder if that's going to be an intentional grounding.
Well, there was a receiver in the vicinity. It could also be an eligible receiver downfield.
It looks like it's been declined, but it's going to bring our punt team on.
Yeah, ineligible downfield. I think that was actually a called run play. If you looked at the receivers on the near side, they were blocking. It didn't appear they were running routes. And when Ryder rolled out, he was looking for a receiver, but they weren't expecting a pass. So Ryder dumped it off, did a good job.
Yeah, and again, injuries continue to be a problem for the Wolves this year with the starting center injured.
Good snap there, and Eastlake gets it away. That makes me nervous punting from our own end zone, but that is a good punt from where we were at. Good job, Daniel.
All right, flip field brings it out to the Cougar 42-yard line where they'll take over. Hopefully Eastlake can stop them again.
That ball was down by number 17, the senior, Arian Prakish. Good job by the senior.
As we switch fields, we'll thank one of our sponsors, Kinson & Kinson Homes. We appreciate your support of Wolves football.
My buddy Jim Ort is coming up to the booth here.
Jim Ort is in the house.
Ort is in the house. Jim has done a wonderful job as the president of the WFA. He lives Wolf Strong, Pack Strong, and he sent me a text this week, said, "Can you announce on Saturday?" I said, yes. Twins to the near side. Bothell hands off. Number 6 inside, cuts it up, bounces off Bryson, and is wrestled down at midfield. It's going to bring up 2nd and 3, or 2
right
maybe.
At midfield, and again, I see our guys wrapping at the chest, not at the legs. So they don't have the leverage to make the stop soon, and so Bothell's getting a lot of yards after contact.
Too many. All right, let's see what the Eastlake defense can do here. There's 2 backs on the backfield on the far side with the wing back. Look for a play away from us here. And they do handoff. Brought down by Hodges, almost for a loss. Definitely at the line of scrimmage there. Bryson came off the edge and makes a great tackle.
He just comes right around there, meets him, and brings him down right at the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 2. All right, let's see what we got here. 2 backs.
Hard count. They've done it all day. He's going to go quarterback sneak here. This is a designed bark. And good coaching there by Bothell. They tried to bark, see if they could get a free first down by Eastlake. Eastlake finally figures it out and does not jump. And that's going to take us into the fourth quarter. Bothell driving with 3rd and 1 coming up. This is a huge play, Jim.
And a huge movement of the ball as we shift from one end of the field to the other. They will move it at an entire 6 inches to flip it to the other end of the field.
It's more confusing for the chain gang, I think.
And we're going to take a little bit of time to thank some of our sponsors. Thank you to the Pine Lake Ale House. We appreciate your support.
My buddy Ginny Johnson just came up to the booth and scalded me for misreading the roster.
Thank you to Infinity of Bellevue for your support of Wolves football. We appreciate the support, ongoing support of Perfect Press Printing. And once again, we do appreciate the ongoing support of the Eastlake Youth Football Group.
All right, let's go.
Here with me today is the president of that association.
I am the president. And not only am I a member, I'm the president. All right, come on, defense. Let's go. 3rd and 1 here. Look for another hard count and a run up the middle. And it is number 6. Pounds it. He's met at the line of scrimmage, but I think he just got through for a first down.
Yeah, looking at where the referees are, it's likely to be
First
spotted
down.
favorable.
It's a good stop there. All right, new set of downs here. 1st and 10. The fourth quarter is counting. All right, let's go defense. Bothell with both backs in the backfield away from the wing back. They shift. Hunter Swoll, 46, and the wing back to the far side. Both running backs on the far side. And is a run up the middle to 22, the senior, and he
breaks through. And he's going down inside the 10. Pushed out of bounds at about the 10-yard line.
Good effort there by Dana Miller and Tristan Drummond to get a stop. I thought he was going to go the distance there for a minute, but it's going to bring up 1st and goal for Bothell deep in Eastlake territory.
Right at the 10-yard line. That was quite a run for Bothell there.
Again, Bothell has not thrown the ball well today. They had the one screen that it was a big first down, but their run game has been powerful. Tight end and wing back to the near side. 6 in the backfield. Hard count again. Another run up the middle, and he's going to go into the end zone for a touchdown. It feels like you know what's coming, and we aren't able to stop it. A little bit frustrating.
That is. The Wolves are down by 2 scores again. Got 11:21 left in the game. And the Wolves putting together some offense, but they're going to need to put together a better defense if they hope to win this game. And Bothell tries once again on the strange formation there.
The old swinging gate. Snap, hold, and kick are all good, and that's going to put Bothell up by 14 points here at the 11:21 to go in the game. Jim, coming into this game, my opinion, not that my opinion matters, but my opinion was that Eastlake was the favorite in this game, just looking at scores from the season. Eastlake played Bellevue very, very good last week,
Right.
even had a chance to win the game. And just looking at some of the scores from the season, Bothell, for example, they got beat by Bellevue 35-3. They lost to Woodinville. Just based on those scores, I thought that Eastlake was going to have a stronger advantage today, but Bothell's defense is playing good, and their run game's put 28 points on the board.
And unfortunately, Eastlake has had a lot of injuries to key players on the team, and that has put us reaching deep in the depth chart, and we're struggling on some of those.
All right, kickoff is going to go into the end zone. I thought it went out before the pylon, which would have put the ball on the 35-yard line, but the official down there on the goal line is signaling for that the ball went into the end zone. And in high school, if the ball goes into the end zone, the ball is spotted at the 20. Eastlake will take over on our own 20-yard line with a critical drive ahead here.
11:21 left in the game. Eastlake needs to put on a couple of scores, and they need to stop Bothell from scoring anymore.
Barry Smith's in the shotgun with Miles, the single back in the backfield. And he's looking to throw on first down. He's screen pass to Miles. Miles catches it. He's got blockers. And that's a great play on first down. I give Bothell credit for catching up to Miles there. Eastlake had Beardall and a couple other linemen out in front. Miles had a nice wall to run behind, by the Bothell defense pursued, and it's going to bring up second and short.
Caught from behind there and brought down.
Still a great play.
2nd and 1.
Barry Smith again in the shotgun. We've had a couple of snaps that were not great. Glad to see Barry Smith avoids.
Oh, fantastic catch.
What a catch by Bryson Hodges. Ryder Barry Smith, oh my gosh, he's got a tremendous amount of pressure, avoids the tackler, and then lets it rip almost 50 yards down the field. Bryson, a very athletic receiver. The defender was there, and he went up and got the ball for a huge gain, and that puts Eastlake deep in Bothell territory, marching here with about 10-20 to go in the fourth quarter.
So we open up with 2 throws, 2 completions.
Barry Smith still in the shotgun. Miles in the backfield. Hands it to Miles. Miles patiently running.
Caught from behind.
There was nowhere to go there. Good defense by Bothell, and Miles patiently looking for something to pop, and it didn't. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Looks like they may have spotted him about 1 yard gain on that.
All right, Devine comes out of the game. Colby's in the backfield now. It's going to be split backs. Barry Smith go backs under center and twins to the far side. Last time we had split backs, we were just pounding the Johnson & Johnson rock up the middle. Fakes to Hodges, and Miles has got the ball up the middle and drives ahead for about 10 yards on 2nd down. And they will move the chains. Love it. They keep motioning Hodges and faking the end around. I think one of these times they're going to give it to him, and he is fast.
And that was one of those where you got to see the post get in the way of the play there. Sorry about that.
All right, split backs again. Barry Smith is under center, twins to the far side. Bryson motions again, and handoff to Colby Johnson.
Colby spins, gains probably 3 yards.
We don't have to worry about the clock quite yet, but I'm glad we got down the field quickly here.
Indeed.
All right, we're inside the red zone here. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7. Again, Haroldson and Hodges on the far side. Barry Smith's under center with Miles and Colby Johnson in the backfield. Jake Aaron's at tight end on the bottom. And here's Hodges. There's the jet sweep we were talking about. And he turns a corner and gets
into
in.
the 10.
Yes, inside the 10. That's going to be very close to a first down. I don't like the spot, but
putting it at about the 9.5.
It's going to
shy.
They're going to measure. It's actually a better spot than I thought. I don't mean to badmouth the refs. It's just my perspective of where the player went down at.
And they certainly have a different angle on it than we do up here. Things can look very different, especially when it's that far downfield and we've got posts in the way.
Great run by Bryson there. We were just talking about his motion and the jet sweep. Bothell did a good job setting the edge. He wasn't able to get around the outside, but he cut it up for about 7 yards.
So they bring the chains out.
Look at that camera shot there. Come on.
That's a couple of inches short.
All right, it's going to bring up 3rd and short here. 8:29 to go in the game.
I would not be surprised to see Coach go for it all on this 3rd down. With confidence that he can pick up a first down on a 4th if he has to. So I'd look for a pass into the end zone on this one. Hodges or
it looks like on the far side, Cade Haroldson's got number 7 guarding him. Cade is listed at 6'2". Number 7 is listed Mason Kim at 5'9". I like that height matchup.
Yeah, I'd take that one. So there may be a shot over to the far side, or
But I also like the idea of Colby just running behind Beardall and pounding the rock here and getting his first and goal.
Yeah, when they're expecting the throw, go ahead and run it in.
Barrett Smith's under center, Miles and Colby in the backfield. Hodges motions. It is a handoff to Miles. He gets a first down and more. He piles into the end zone. Touchdown, Miles Johnson. Great run. Great blocks by the O-line. Colby was the leader there. Miles was wrapped up by at least 3 Bothell defenders and carries them across the goal line into the end zone.
Yeah, he's got a lot of contact there.
Great job, Miles. When you look at Miles, do not judge the book by the cover. He packs a big punch. Very strong running back. Good snap, good hold, good kick.
And it's up. And we're back to within 1 score. Now it's the defense's job.
Let's go. A little high five in the booth here. That was a great drive. Earlier in the game, Coach Hare went for 2 on the first touchdown, did not get it. On the second touchdown, Miles Johnson scored on a 2-point conversion. After that touchdown, Coach decided to kick it. So here at a critical point in the game, it cuts the lead to 7. And with 8:16 to go here, Jim, it looks like the rain's coming. This might make it
different kind of a game.
A different game here late in the fourth quarter.
All right, I was promised by the referee that this wasn't going to happen.
I'm interested to see what the Eastlake kickoff team does here. We've not kicked it deep a lot this season. A lot of pop-up kind of pooch kicks. Maxwell, Dana Miller, Drummond, and Ethan Rogers on the near side. Fang, Riley Hill, Caden Newton, Budish, and others on the far. Again, another pop-up kick. 42 calls for the fair catch at the 26-yard line. And, Jim, I will take that.
That's probably the best position we've had after kickoff all game.
And Bothell's got some strong ball carriers. The player that caught it there was not the same guys that have been carrying it all day, so that was favorable. All right, huge drive coming up. 1st and 10 Bothell on their own 27-yard line, 8:15 to go in the game. The last drive, Jim, they pounded the rock.
They did.
They drove right down our throat, and we've got to get a stop here.
Yeah, we need a defensive answer to the runs they've been doing.
Number 64, Finn Waldron is in at nose. Looks like they're giving Beardall a break. 2 running backs in the backfield on the far side. Motions 22 of the sail, hand it to 6 in the middle. And he's wrapped up by 11, J.J. Maxwell there.
Yeah. And Maxwell was effective there because he grabbed him around the waist, not around the chest.
Unfortunately, it was after he got 5, almost 6 yards, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 4.
Yep, he was already 5 yards deep before Chase got a hold of him.
All right, Bothell's got, again, 2 backs on the far side of the quarterback here. Hard count. They've done it all day. And a quarterback keeper, it's the option. Miles is on the edge, doesn't have him.
Looks like he's going to have enough for a first down there, just to about the 40-yard line where he goes out of bounds.
Maxwell again knocks him out of bounds. Looked like a little confusion on the Bothell offense there. The back behind the quarterback didn't seem to know that it was a outside run, but the quarterback did a good job getting around the edge, and that's a Bothell first down.
They backed it up a couple of yards to the 38-yard line.
Tight end and wingback flip to the near side. And a handoff up the middle again. 6 tries to bounce it outside, but Miles Johnson, who just scored a touchdown, gets a tackle for loss on, I guess he got a yard. Great tackle from the backside on first down. That's going to bring up 2nd and long.
And that's been the most effective so far against their run, is coming from around the other side edge and catching up to the runner from behind.
Yeah, you're right, Jim. The Bothell line's done a good job with the push, and getting around the edge has been effective. The one thing that makes me nervous, if the quarterback fakes the handoff and keeps it, there's nobody there at home. But for now, we'll take it. And it is a handoff up the middle to 22, and there's a pack of wolves And that's going to bring up probably the biggest third down of the game here.
At the 41-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
I think we got a favorable spot there, and we will take it.
Absolutely.
3rd and 7 almost. All right, let's go, Eastlake. This is the play of the season right here. This is effectively the conference championship, and this play is going to dictate whether we get the ball back or not. Handoff, fake handoff, it's a pass.
Over the head of
Way.
the receiver. Just nobody. He had to beat 15 feet tall to catch that one.
That was a throw that I'm sure that quarterback would like to have over again.
Absolutely.
But for us, that stops the clock with 6:16. Chase Dannemiller back to receive, and we should have good field position here and a chance to tie the game or take the lead if we go for 2.
Now, I'd love to see this one not just fielded, but run back. Let's see.
You
what
remember
happens.
there was a bad snap earlier in the game, and the ball's wet right now. I'd like to see that again. It is. It's a low snap. There's a flag.
He gets the kickoff.
Booming high kick, and I'm shocked Dan Miller calls for a fair catch with a pack of Bothell Cougars around him. But let's see what the flag is here. We talked about Dan Miller not catching the last punt, and he just wasn't in a good position. Right there, I give him credit. He could
Got
smell the
position,
breath.
and even with the wet ball, he fielded that one, and he did a great job of pulling it in. The ball is currently spotted at the 22-yard line. All right, I think we're going to take that. It was illegal motion by the Cougars before the kick. I think we're going to take the penalty from the end of the kick rather than making them kick over.
With the bad snaps they have, I kind of like to make them kick it again, but Coach Hare wants the offense on the field, and I can't blame him.
Yep.
All right, let's go. 6:07 to go in the game. Eastlake down by a score. It's been a physical game. Lots of running today, not a whole lot of passing, and now the rains have come, and Barry Smith is in the huddle calling the play.
Let's see what we've got dialed up here.
Miles Johnson in the backfield with Colby Johnson, Bryson Hodges and Cade Haraldson on the far side. Barry Smith under center with Jake Ahrens at tight end, Mosin to Hodges. They give it to Hodges again on the jet sweep. Gets across the 30.
Good gain on that one.
We saw that same play last drive, and it's a nice run on first down.
A good block leading him on there, and then he just runs into a pack of Cougars.
Okay, this is interesting. Barry Smith came over to the sideline for the play, but then Coach Hare whispered something in Cade's ear. I don't know whether it was to get on the line of scrimmage or not, but he's covering up the tight end Jake Ahrens here, which is interesting. Hand off to Miles Johnson, and Miles breaks free. Miles has got room to run. Go, Miles, go!
Near midfield.
Did I mention I love Miles Johnson?
Let's take a quick look at that run.
Great blocking by the Eastlake front. Colby Johnson puts a great block on the linebacker. Miles breaks a tackle, and he is running. He looked fast there.
So we're into Cougar territory now.
Let's go. Just down to 5 minutes. Split backs. Barry Smith under center. Quick pitch to Miles. Gets outside. And he's still on his feet inside the 35-yard line. Eastlake is marching.
Another first down for Miles Johnson.
I was worried about a holding on the far side when Miles cut it up. It wasn't holding, but it's a very good block. Miles read the block and almost sprung it for the distance. I think Eastlake's going to keep pounding it here. Bothell does not seem to have an answer to the Johnson & Johnson backfield.
Hodges
Here he is.
Give to Miles, up the middle. He gains about 3. Looks like it's going to be closer to 4, 5.
Miles Johnson again, number 20, the junior, also a very good lacrosse player. Travels the country on the East Coast. He's a D-Midi specialist And looking at some colleges right now, I'm excited what Miles' future holds. All right.
2nd and 5.
Let's go. Colby and Miles in the backfield again. Jake Aarons tight end on the top. And a handoff to Colby. Colby
bounces inside. Gets a little bit of a push. Gets up to about the 25.
It's going to bring up 3rd and short, I think. Just under 4 minutes in the game. Jim, I didn't mention this yet, but I'm coaching a game an hour and 45 minutes from now, and I enjoyed the speed and tempo of this game, but now overtime's got me a little concerned.
All right, we got Johnson and Johnson in the backfield again. Bryson in motion.
Fake handoff to Bryson. Miles
pushes
follows
forward.
Beardall, and that is going to be a 1st down for Eastlake. Let's go.
Again, the jet sweep. Nope, it's not. It's over to Johnson, and he moves forward and just pushes in there. Good push by our front line there, and a little push. You see Beardall in the back helping from the tail end.
I'll take Beardall helping me any day of the week.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go. Barry Smith's under center. Colby is at the wingback position now. Miles in the backfield by himself. Cade in motion. No, that is Hodges. Hodges on the jet sweep. Cuts it up. Gets down inside the 20-yard line. And we are knocking on the door. Wow, what an exciting 4th quarter here. Pop Keeney Field, Bothell, Washing, a special place. I love this field. It's got no track on it. The fans are right up on the field. It's loud. And here we go with a chance to tie or take the lead.
Ball's at the 18 right now.
Aaron's tight end on the far side. Hodges motions. Handoff to Colby. Colby's just pounding it.
That should be good for a 1st down.
Down to the 12. No, they're going to call 3rd down. It's going to be 3rd and short. Very short. I'm okay with that.
About half a yard.
I like the idea of not giving Bothell any time on the clock, although they haven't thrown the ball well, and it could be a disaster for them.
Put the ball at the 13.
All right, Hodges on the top, Haroldson at the bottom, Johnson and Johnson in the backfield, Hodges in motion. Handoff to Miles. Miles cuts it. Ooh.
He got stopped right at the line. I don't know if he's going to make that one.
No, they're going to say 4th down. Oh, boy, this is a big 4th down coming up. I think they've got to measure this. Miles did not need much. Oh, 1st down.
Nice.
I can't believe they didn't measure it. They signaled 4th down. And with a favorable spot, the clock is running. 1:44 to go. And Eastlake is knocking on the door.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Johnson and Johnson in the backfield. Handoff to Colby. Following Miles. Colby's pounding.
Gets a yard or two up to about the 10.
All right, we've been pounding the ball good, and I'm all for continuing to run, but I've noticed that the cornerback on the far side of the field, Mason Kim, has a significant height disadvantage to our senior Cade Haroldson over there.
Hope the coaches have noticed that as well.
Fade route, whether it's a fade route or a slant, I like Cade using his body. But I cannot complain. Miles and Colby this half have
They've been pounding it.
Pounding the rock.
Pounding right back at Bothell. Bothell's been pounding us on the run all game, so it's great to see us pounding back.
Both juniors. Eastlake's kind of got a mix at the position groups. Ryder Barry Smith, the quarterback's a junior. Both running backs, Colby and Miles, are juniors. Almost all the receivers are seniors, so we'll have a fresh group there next year. Jake Aarons, the tight end's a senior.
All right, coming back from the timeout.
All right, Chase Dannemiller's in the game now. Looks like Hodges is out. Not sure if that's to mix it up or a specific play.
Haroldson lined up on the near side against number 2.
Jake Aarons is the tight end on the near side. Johnson and Johnson in the backfield. Quick pitch to Miles. We've ran this multiple times. He's got a blocker. hard run, gets down to about the 6. That's going to bring up 3rd and goal for the Eastlake Wolves.
No, they can pick up a first down at the 2-yard line.
Oh, they can. You're right. Good eye there. I couldn't see.
Right, we'll call another timeout. And while we take this timeout, we'll take this opportunity to thank our sponsors. Thank you to Perfect Press Printing for your support of Eastlake Wolves. We appreciate that. Next, we'd like to thank Infinity of Bellevue. They've been a proud sponsor of Wolves football for a couple of years now. We really do appreciate their strong support. Thank you to the Eastlake Youth Football Association for their support of Wolves football. Great new sponsor this year. Thank you so much. Thank you to Pine Lake Ale House for your support of Eastlake Wolves football. And now we're coming back from the timeout.
All right. Minute 15 on the clock. Eastlake down 7. It is 3rd and about 3 from the 6-yard line. Colby and Miles in the backfield. Dana Miller's the receiver to the top. Haroldson to the bottom. Barry Smith calls Dana Miller in motion. They fake to Dana Miller. Miller's got the ball. It's going to depend on the spot. Looks like they got him on the 3.5, which I think will be 4th down.
I can just about promise you, though, that at this point, Coach will go for it.
Here we go. This is the game. Honestly, this is the season. The conference championship on the line. 4th and 2 from the 4. Johnson & Johnson have pounded it. The crowd is getting loud. Barry Smith hands it off to Miles. Miles follows Colby. He breaks free inside the 2. That is going to be a first down. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a first down. Miles a little slow getting up. And they spot it on the 2, and that is 1st and goal Eastlake. Okay, we got 35 seconds to go here. Woo! Doesn't get more exciting than this, Jim.
It does not.
All right, Eastlake hurries up to the line of scrimmage here. Johnson & Johnson in the backfield. Barry Smith under center. We've got
Miller to one side. Haroldson on the near side.
Tight formation to Colby here next to Miles, and they give it to Colby. He pounds it, and he rolls.
That should be it.
Touchdown, Colby Johnson, and the Eastlake Wolves are 1 kick away from tying the game.
I have a feeling the coach is going to go for 2.
And the kicker is not coming on the field. Let's go.
Yeah, this is the
decision
of the game.
Let's go.
Live or die on this
place
play.
Is going to be rocking here in about 10 seconds.
One side or the other is going to be very excited.
I think if I'm coach here, I'd call a timeout here to give the guys a blow.
Yeah, he does have one to spare.
Beardall's signaling in something to the sideline. Play clock's going. I think Hare's going to let the play clock go down and then call timeout here.
That's what it looks like. He does not appear to be in a hurry.
Coach Hare, in his 2nd season with the Eastlake Wolves, moved his family here from Arizona to be part of this football family and has done a great job.
And he calls a timeout.
Okay. What a 4th quarter. Get a stop. Dana Miller, fair catch on the 20-yard line. Penalty puts us to the 25. And the Eastlake Wolves march 75 yards, including a 4th down conversion. And Colby Johnson finish off the drive. And we are 1 play away here from taking the lead.
A couple of great passes to start off that drive, and then just pounding it with the run. Johnson here, Johnson there, into the end zone with a Colby 2-yard run. And now, which of the Johnsons will carry it in for the 2 points?
A play action would not shock me here. The quick pitch has been very effective. Bothell's not had an answer for that. I'm 100% confident that Coach Hare has something up his sleeve.
And I'm not at all surprised that he's going to go for 2 here. He wants the win. This is the same thing we did with Mount Si last year. I suspect he had the players' input on this.
Oh my. Let's go. Here we go. 2-point conversion for the game. Everybody in this stadium is on their feet right now. The band needs to quit playing. They're not allowed to play during play. Yeah, I think the official told him to stop playing. All right, Miles in the backfield. Aaron's at tight end on the top with Colby. This is where we ran the pitch. Oh, they shift. I like it. Try to get a mismatch. Miles is carrying the ball. Pitch to the bottom. Yep, here we go. Go, Miles. Go, Mo. He's in!
He's in!
2 points! Miles Johnson! And the Eastlake Wolves have taken the lead with 31 seconds to go in the game. And I am thrilled because I'm not going to be late to my game. Yes!
And in he goes.
Yes, yes, yes. I cannot believe that Bothell could not sniff out the pitch. They've ran it 4 or 5 times, and I love the shift. That was brilliant. Bothell did not adjust quick enough, and Miles ran hard there. Can we get a replay on that, or are we too far?
Yeah, we do. Let's take another look
Let's
at the
watch that.
replay.
Oh, my gosh. Miles is very shallow. Gets the quick pitch, following his blockers. Aaron's with a great block. Colby with a block. And he's got at least 4 Bothell defenders on him as he got into the end zone. Did I mention I love Miles Johnson?
31 seconds on the clock here.
Yes! Now, Bothell does have a heck of a kicker. We've seen him bomb it a couple times today. So we do not want them to have good field position here.
I have a feeling this one's going to get kicked out of bounds beyond the 35.
I don't think there's any reason to put it in play, although 42, who fair caught it last time, is a suspect here. So let's put it in his hands again. They're very shallow if you look at their kick returners. Pooch kick again to 42, and he lets it go to number 6. Oh, no. This is the starting tailback with the ball in his hands right now.
And he gets across midfield on that.
Okay, Bothell has 2 timeouts, 25 seconds. They probably have time for 4 plays.
I think we wanted that one to go out of bounds, but didn't quite get the reins on
Well,
that.
we said we needed field position, and we gave up way too much there.
All year long I've been saying I really don't understand our kicking game.
As aggressive as Coach Hare is on the 2-point conversion, I'm surprised there, but what this tells me is he's got confidence in his defense.
Yep.
Looks like Cade Haroldson comes in at safety for Tristan Drummond.
So the ball's just across midfield at the Eastlake 49-yard line. We've got 31 seconds
All right,
to go.
Bothell's got
25
trips
now.
to the far side. The senior quarterback has not thrown the ball well today, and he's forced to now. He drops back. He's looking down the field, and it's tipped by Colby.
Nice.
Oh, if he could have intercepted that, that would have been oh so sweet.
I would have loved to see Colby with another pick 6 on this field.
Was that a club or his hand? I'm not sure, but it was a
Let's
great
see.
tip.
Drops back. There's the throw.
The
Colby
club.
jumps up. Wow.
The
Quite a
club.
reach on that.
All right, well, that took 5 seconds off the clock. It's 2nd and 10. I'm not sure that the down and distance matters that much. The senior quarterback again throwing here. He's got trips to the far side. Number 2's here at the bottom. Hard bark and count. He's looking downfield. Screen to the running back here. This is a big play.
Drop the ball.
Okay, the clock's going to stop while they move the chains just for a moment. But that took 12 seconds off the clock.
That was Beardall and Dana Miller on the tackle.
Timeout, Bothell. Okay, they're going to have 1 timeout left. This is really probably their last play from scrimmage unless they complete a quick pass and get out of bounds.
Are they close enough that they could kick it from here?
Well,
I know they're going to try. But they've got a couple of plays. They're going to try. I suspect we're going to see some passing plays. They don't want the clock going. 13 seconds to go here.
the ball's on the 36. If there's an incomplete pass here on a play of any length, that would be, the ball would be spotted on about the 42. It'd be a 52-yard field goal or more. I think to have any confidence in a field goal, I think Bothell wants to get inside a 40-yard kick. So They've got to get down inside the 25-yard line, I think, to have a chance.
All right. All right, the Cougars are back on the field.
All right, let's go. The Eastlake fans are back. Ed Thatcher's getting them going here. Trips on the far side. Number 3, hard count as he's done all day, drops the
back.
running back's in the flats. He's looking long play, and that is what we needed with 8 seconds to go.
Very surprised that we didn't get a holding call. Vine was thrown to the ground there.
Great coverage by the Eastlake secondary. He had nowhere to go. The running back was not anticipating the ball coming to him. The quarterback just really dumped it off to avoid a sack. They do have one timeout. If they complete a pass over the middle, then they will have to kick the field goal. If he gets tackled for a sack or anything else, then the game's going to be over. Hard count.
Dropping back.
We need some pressure. We don't have it. It's a completed.
And he does catch it. Brings it in at the 15-yard line with 4 seconds to go.
It's going to bring about a 32-yard field goal from the hash. He did miss the last field goal, a wide right, and he's going to be kicking this one on the other hash. Nice pass there by the quarterback. I'm still frustrated about the field position, but give Bothell credit there. They made a big play when it mattered.
And it looks like the Bothell has called timeout.
If you've joined late, Eastlake was down 28-14 and came back with 2 great drives in the fourth quarter, with Colby Johnson scoring 1 and or did Colby score both? No, Colby scoring 1 and Miles scoring 1. And then Miles Johnson with a huge 2-point conversion to put Eastlake in the league. But here we go. With 4 seconds left, Bothell is kicking a 30-yard field goal to win the game.
With a slightly wet ball. All right, however this turns out, this has been an amazing game.
And Eastlake is going to burn their last timeout to make this kicker think about it a little bit.
Let a little bit more rain fall on that ball there.
The old ice the kicker timeout.
Yeah, we had a timeout. May as well use it.
The psychology of timeouts matters, and this kicker right now, I believe he's number 50, Diego Curiel, has got the kick of his life. Coach here with the
get
timeout.
Back to the field.
Beardall, Colby Johnson, Jake Ahrens, Devine in the middle. Looks like Hodges and Miles are going to come off the edge on the bottom here. Here we go. Good kick, holds down, the kick is up, and it is good.
It's good. With no time on the clock, Cougars pull it off, bring in the field goal to take the lead 31-29. Disappointing result, but wow, what a game.
I don't like the outcome, but this is a high school football environment right now. If you're a Bothell student or player, this is an amazing way to finish your senior year. For the Eastlake Wolves, this stings. This hurts really, really bad. I believe Eastlake still will be in the district crossover and has a chance to make the playoffs, but this definitely puts them in a lower seed where we'd have to play somebody very difficult in the first round of the playoffs.
A little more difficult than we would have otherwise.
Yes.
But yeah, I think we'll still be pretty high ranked there. Wow, what a game.
What a game. Well, hats off to Bothell for driving down the field. They got the ball at the 50 and that huge pass, and the kicker knocked it through. And
they hadn't thrown passes like that all game long, but right when they needed it, they pull it off.
No. Well,
So
thanks
folks,
for joining us today. This was fun for me. Jim, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you, David. David Oliphant, Jim Thatcher here with Gabe Stormont and Sean Crandall on cameras. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.